Hello again, and welcome to Lesson 28, Writing Sentences 3, where our story is all about a televised surprise. You can see the surprise on our emoji, but we can also see that we have the letter S in between two vowels. And when it is there, we have the sound Z. That's our surprise when we're spelling. Let's take a look at the words that we covered in Writing Words 3. After a look at the spelling choices, when we hear the sound A, we write A consonant E, A-I. If we hear E, E, double E, E-A, E consonant E, double E at the end of a word. I is I consonant E, I-G-H. O is O consonant E, O-A, O-W. U is U consonant E, and at the end of a word, E-W. U and oo are both written with a double O. Or A-U or A-W. Ow, O-U or O-W. The televised surprise. And here we can see something that is televised will appear on a television. Let's write our title. We'll start with the televised, televised. But think about that Z. The vice, but we write it vice. Drop the E and add suffix ed. The televised surprise. S is S, U R, and prize, which is written in a completely different way to the word prize, where you're given a prize. So we will have lots of practice at words where we use an S, even though we hear Z. When we arrived as guests to a TV event, we were asked to guess who the television presenter was. Okay, let's write when we to begin with. Wh is our reminder. When we and then we have arrived. and then rived. Drop the E at the end of arrive and add suffix ed. As guests. And in writing words 3, we introduced the fact that a U after the letter G keeps the G saying G, even though we can hear E as the next sound. As guests, G-U, and then the ests, we can hear the sounds we need for the letters we write. To a TV event, and TV will be written in capitals. To a capital T, capital V, event, and a comma. We were asked, we, a little word spelt like a syllable, were Emily's rats eating? Is our first sound spelling phrase. Ask, and then this time we just added suffix ed. To guess, another word that uses a U to let us know to say G. To, and then guess, G, U before the E and a double S for a one-syllable word with a short vowel sound. Who the television presenter was. Wonder why they have to work it out. Who, white-haired older. The, this time we'll have television, not TV. Tell, then vision, and the jeune spelling S-I-O-N, jeune. It's a funny sound, isn't it? But that's how we're writing jeune, S-I-O-N. Presenter and presenter could be your spelling language. Present-er, suffix er, but we say presenter was. So another word where we hear z, but we write an S. We are used to using was as simple for was, and we'll get used to this new rule too. Next sentence. But we were advised to keep their disguise a secret. Okay. Oh, that lets us know it's a secret that must not be told. or texted, I would imagine. But we were. But we were. Advised. My teeth are on my bottom lip. Eyesed. We dropped the E in the starter word advise and added suffix ed. To keep. Keep. There. And we have the dot over the I to remind us this is the there we use when it's something belonging to them. To keep their disguise. Another word with a U to make sure we say G. Disguise. And another S between two vowels that sounds like Z. A secret. A secret. Full stop. We promised we would. No advertising. Okay. We promised. And in this word, suffix ed sounded like t. We would. Then we have a hyphen. No advertising. Okay, no advert. And then ising. Advertise would have had an E at the end. We dropped the E to add suffix ing. And then an exclamation mark. That really lets us know this was very important. Oh, and here we can see where they were. We walked up what seemed like hundreds of steps to our seats. We walked up. We walk, which we spell a bit like walk, and add suffix ed. Up. What seemed like. And the O after wh, written with an A. Seemed like. Hundreds of steps. Hundreds eds, of, steps, to our seats, to our seats, and a full stop. There was no compromise on vision, though. So, even though they're really high up, they had a good view. There was no, this there doesn't need the eye, was no, compromise. Where we do say z, even though we didn't in promise. On vision, though. And vision has the same ending as television. Because it's about vision. On vision, S-I-O-N, though, with my teeth on my tongue at the beginning, and then it's an ugly green Hulk word. O is how we say it, and a comma, because we could still see the raised stage. Okay, and think of our spelling story. Why are elephants good at adding? Because elephants can add using small elephants. Could, same spelling as would, but a different letter at the beginning. Still see. Still one syllable word with a short vowel sound, so we need that double L. C with a double E at the end. The raised stage. The raised. A-I as our spelling choice. And we could hear Z, stage. And here, where there is no U between the G and the E, we say J. We praised Zoe for advising us on great seats. And often we will clap when we are praising someone. I think it was probably a very quiet clap, but accompanied with lots of smiles and thank yous. We praise is our starter word. Drop the E and add ED. Zo, and then the ending is a syllable spelling. E. Zoe. 2 syllables, which is quite a surprise because toe has the same spelling at the end. But Zoe is a great way of remembering that spelling. Zoe has toes. Let's carry on with our story. For advising us. For advising, it looks like, but we say z. Advising us on great seats. And great where we hear A, seats where we hear E, have exactly the same vowel spellings. On, G-R-E-A-T, and seats, S-E-A-T. Great and seats. So you can either remember great seats as a way of sorting out the spelling for great, or you can give it a spelling language, great seats. And then added more thanks for, and we'll find out what for in a minute, and then added, then added, double D in add, and add suffix ed, more thanks, or thanks for the exercise we'd all had. I think that will have been joking. The and X is EX, which we haven't introduced, but this is our hint for the next lesson. S with a C, and then eyes. Exercise we'd all had. We'd, short for we had, we need an apostrophe. All had. And a full stop. Oh, and here we can see a deliberately blurred picture of what's going on, because that can be an element that you include in the story. You can choose any show you like or make one up for those extra details. When the visitor arrived, we held our breath. And you can also make up or decide exactly who the visitor is. When the visitor, and you might like to say this, it, or. When, When, as our reminder, the, this, it, or visit, or visitor, arrived, double R to keep the short vowel short at the beginning. Then I've dropped the E for suffix ed. We held our breath. Held our breath, where we can hear but we write E-A. Breathe would have an E at the end. This is breath. Would she work it out like we had? Oh, so they now know the disguise. Would she? Would? Oh, unhappy little duckling. She work. Work. Work it out. Out. O-U. Like we had. And a question mark at the end. We Ooh, and here we can see they are expecting somebody to get a present, but they don't know what it is or who it's for yet. Wondered. Wandered. W-on. Wander. And then we've added suffix ed. Wondered what the present, the present, but we spell it present, would be. Would be. And then had to revise our thoughts. Had to. Had to revise. So they had to have a rethink. Revise. And we could hear Z, but we spell it I-S-E. Our thoughts. Oh, ugly green Hulk. But then we add T-S. Thoughts. Full stop. The disguised presenter was the present. Now we know why he had a disguise. The disguised dis, and then we have that U to make sure we say G. Disguised. We have the Z, even though we've written an S. The disguised presenter. Pre and zent will be sent. Was the present. Was the present. Somebody who wasn't expected to be there at all. An exclamation mark because of that big surprise. The visitor's surprise was a treat for us all. Visit or, and then an apostrophe S, the visitor's surprise. Prize with an S again was a treat. Was a treat with an EA spelling for us all. For us all. And a full stop. And we can see how pleased everybody was. Those are details you might like to add. Where had the disguised presenter been if he wasn't expected to be there? And then give the visitor a lovely surprise. For now, let's read our story. The televised surprise. When we arrived as guests to a TV event, we were asked to guess who the television presenter was. But we were advised to keep their disguise a secret. We promised we would. No advertising. And having got to the end of our story, now we know why. We walked up what seemed like hundreds of steps to our seats. There was no compromise on vision, though, because we could still see the raised stage. We praised Zoe for advising us on great seats, and then added more thanks for the exercise we'd all had. When the visitor arrived, we held our breath. Would she work it out like we had? We wondered what the present would be, and then had to revise our thoughts. The disguised presenter was the present. The visitor's surprise was a treat for us all. Thank you for joining me, and I can only say at this point that it is a shame that I won't get to see the extra details you'll put in your story. When you've finished it, make sure you read your story to the folks around you. And well done.